been winning like I found the perfect cheat code. Social distance, shawty, don't get close to people. Had a lot of problems, but I couldn't keep them. I've been on a so big to wipe out lethal. Switch it.
So I just did. I'm getting the jitters. I'm getting nervous again. Okay, so I just finished washing my face and doing my skincare. Okay, so I just finished my skincare and now I am going to be putting on sunblock. This is a sunblock I've been using. It's the Shiseido one, and honestly it's my favorite sunblock right now. I feel like it primes my skin really well for makeup. I don't know how to explain. It's like, feels like my skin is like really nice and soft and smooth. Maybe I need a little more. And then I'm gonna put on lip balm. Let's see, can I zoom out? Okay, next I'm gonna put the Glowy Makeup Serum by Laneige. I really like this serum because it kind of makes my skin a little sticky, which I think is good for applying on my BB cream and stuff. I got a pimple here that popped recently. I'm just gonna ignore it today. I don't want to bother it. So I already put my sunscreen, I already put on my serum, and I already put on lip balm. So that's enough for the prep. Aside from the skincare and washing my face beforehand. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the Bobbi Brown Color Corrector for my under eyes. And this lines along my, I don't know what they're called. This like laugh line, I put it here too, on this area, because it gets kind of dark there. I feel like it helps. This is like almost empty. And I broke the lid. So that will tell you how much I love this color corrector. Ooh. I love it so much that even though it looks like so messed up, I'm keeping it. So there's that. So next I'm going to take my IOPE BB cream. This is my usual number 23 in the color beige. So a lot of people I've seen, like a lot of Korean YouTubers I've seen, they like pat it here and then they pat here. I did that when I had more BB cream on the cushion in here, but because it's running out, I'm just going straight in, and it's like a perfect amount. I think it's not too much. Start my cheeks. So I always use BB cream. I don't think they have like the best coverage, but I like that. Like I like how it's very light. I do have some spots still, like there, and here, and here, and here, and here. I tend to have the most spots on this cheekbone area, but that's what concealer's for. So I'm gonna use my usual Croquis concealer. Oh gosh, it's stuck. How do I open this? My hands are slippery. Oh, that sucks. I'm gonna apply this on my spots. If I look here, it's because my mirror's here. It's kind of hard to see it on the camera, but I promise I do have some spots that I want to cover. And then I also put some like concealer on my under eye area. I put it along the line, but I just put a little because this is a really good concealer and it has really good coverage and it's really light. I went to a pool party recently and I got a little tan, so I feel like my makeup is a little lighter than my skin, but it's okay. I don't think it's that big of a difference. I like to get rid of the ones that are on the blemishes first. I lightly dab it with my BB cushion. The thing about, I think, having oily skin and glowy makeup is not putting too much makeup. You don't want it to be like caked on there. I don't think that's gonna make the makeup look glowy naturally or as good when you start sweating or looking a little oily. I always try to do like light amounts. it looks pretty good. I did notice this one though. This is still a little dark, and of course there's this one, but because it's like scabbing, I'm not gonna put cream concealer on it. However, for this one, I will put cream concealer brush. One thing that I must say is that I think if you want to get like a flawless makeup, you need to use multiple types of color correctors and concealers. Granted, I only used one color corrector. What I'm trying to say is like you can't just have one concealer. Usually isn't gonna, I don't think that usually gives the best results. But what I'm doing is taking a cream concealer brush, put it there, and you know, take this spot, cover it. Try to lightly cover. I think it looks better. It's not as noticeable anymore. You could put more concealer here and here, but like I said, it's like I don't want my makeup to be too heavy for the summer, so I'm just using the excess concealer that was on the brush. Slightly dabbing, patting any concealer that was left. So now I have a base. Next up, powder. So I'm using the Mercier powder in number 1. This is the mineral finishing powder. So I'm putting on this little brush. Put powder on the concealer in my under eye. Put powder on here. You want to have the powder on your under eye. When your skin is dewy or like glowy, it's gonna show the lines that are there. So my strategy, I guess I would say, is that I put powder on the fine line areas I don't want to be shiny or too shiny, you know. So like I said, I put it here because when I want my skin glowy, I don't want it to emphasize these lines or this lines. I just put powder on my forehead. Personally, I don't want my forehead too shiny, and especially right here, I don't want this area too shiny. I also just powder my eyebrows and my upper eyelids, like lightly sweep. Don't sweep really hard or anything. I also put powder on my nose. I don't really put powder on my cheeks because I know I'm gonna wear blush, so I only put powder there if I have too much powder on my brush, which I think I'm fine today. But again, putting it on the areas I don't want to be emphasized later on. So here's that. The powdered version of my makeup. So now we're pretty much done with the base. Now moving on to my eyes. I use this Innisfree eyeshadow in the color 3, matte. It is just a base eyeshadow that I always use. I like this color because I feel like it... Oh, I need the brush. So as I was saying... No! So as I was saying, I like this powder because it's very similar to my natural skin color, but it adds a little bit of pink to it. So I think it's the perfect eyeshadow for every day. I usually use it underneath my other eyeshadows, like I said, as a base, but these days I've just been using it as the only eyeshadow. I'm gonna just take this spoolie. Okay, so next up after that is I will contour my nose. So for contour, I use this MAC eyeshadow in the color Omega. I focus first on this area right here that connects my eyebrows to my nose. So here, it's like a little bit there, a little bit there, and then I have to go to my eyelids. So there's this. I feel like it's a very natural contouring method. A little here. So here again, it's a little more. There. And here. Blend it out. So now I'm gonna move to my eyebrows. So I'm gonna be using the Drawing Eyebrow Pencil in the color, I don't know. It's gray though. I've used this before. If anybody has black hair and they want natural looking eyebrows, I totally recommend this one. So here, as I mentioned before, this eyebrow is more arched, this one is more straight, and it's way more apparent when I'm smiling on photos. So to balance that out, I try to make them more like each other. That way, like when my eyebrow makeup starts fading a bit, it still looks good. It like still has the remnants of like, this straight one has like some of the eyebrow makeup that makes it look round, and this one still has some of the eyebrow makeup that looks straight. So it still looks pretty symmetrical. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. Did any of that make sense? I don't know. Okay, so there's that. There's this. A little here. Yeah. It has taken me a long time to know what works for my eyebrows. And there was even a point where I was like, okay, this is what works the best. And even then, it took a step further. So my eyebrow methods are constantly evolving. And then I also take this one, this NYX Microbrow Pencil in the color Black. Highly recommend this pencil. I never bought Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow pencils because I heard this was a dupe, and I always use this one. This line of eyebrow pencils from NYX. It's my favorite. But this again is in, oh my gosh. Okay, so look at that. This is in the color Black. What I do with this is I do redo the parts that I feel like are going to fade away the most easily. So this part, you know, like I said, I want it to be straight, so I gotta fill in that gap. There you go. Lightly. And I just on the top here. And a little on the front. Okay. Nice. Next thing is eyebrow gel. I can't find it. Found it! Okay. Lost it for a second, but I found it. So here's this. It's the Gimme Brow Plus eyebrow gel, and it's in the color 5. Oopsie. Again, mimicking the other brows. Now I have nice, straight, thick brows that I like. Is the camera focusing? Focus. Okay. So these are my brows, and I like them. We're almost done. So this is, like I said, pretty short makeup tutorial. Did I ever say that? It's a short one. It's pretty short. Okay. Next I'm gonna take this bronzer. I actually used to never use bronzer, but I started using it recently when I watched a YouTube channel by the makeup artist of Blackpink, and I love their makeup so much. And when I saw she was using this bronzer in the same shade, which is medium dark, I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it because I've always wanted to try a bronzer, but I don't know what color. And aside from when I'm tan like right now, I think my skin tone is closer to Blackpink's makeup. What? I think my skin tone is closer to Blackpink's skin tone, so I would just copy whatever makeup color they use. I tend to copy the colors used by Korean YouTubers and stuff that have somewhat similar skin tones to me, and it usually works in my benefit. So, you know, you gotta work with the people that have similar skin tones and hair textures and stuff as you to know what works best for you. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Anyways, putting some bronzer on the brush. I'm gonna take this, and I just put bronzer here on the outside. Shade lightly. It's very natural on me, and I like that. I don't want it to be too, for me personally, I don't want it to be too obvious, but I want it to still have a bit of a difference. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but in person I can tell a difference. Put some bronzer here too. Contour my cheekbones. A little here, and put a little here. Yeah, this has been my go-to makeup lately, and I like it a lot. I feel like at the end of the day I don't want to even take off my makeup because I like how it looks still. Anyways, put a little bit of this, squeeze this brush, put a little, and a little something to my nose. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so next step. Alexa scares me sometimes. Wait, no, stop. The one who shall not be named scares me sometimes when she starts talking and I didn't talk to her. Next, blush. This is the Etude House Cookie blusher in the color Peach Show Wafers. It's basically the color PK004. Highly recommend it. So taking a little cushion thingy, and I'm just putting it here, outer cheeks, in the upward direction. Honestly, blush is one of the major players in good looking makeup. Like when I was younger, I never wanted to use blush, but little did I know, like, it would help my makeup look so much more natural. Naturally, skin has a bit of a flush, you know, so having blush makes your skin look much more natural than just having one solid like skin tone color. And I like having the bronzer. I feel like it adds dimension to my face. See, having the blush just elevated my makeup, skyrocketed that stonks, you know. Has nothing to do with makeup, but I just like put as much as I feel like. Okay, I feel like that's enough. A little more. And a dab on my nose. But we are not done yet with the blusher. One thing that I've been liking to do is also putting another blusher. I like this blusher, and I Canmake Tokyo, and it's a purple. But when you put it on your skin, it's like a really bright fuchsia pink, or like it doesn't look like this, I don't think so, on my skin. Put it here, a little goes a long way, and it can honestly mess up your makeup, so be careful. Yeah, but after applying that pink one, I'll apply this here, lightly, okay, there, this one here. You could have left it with just the pink one if you wanted to, but this has been something that's been a part of my making my skin look sun-kissed. So I apply it here, I apply a little more lightly here, and my favorite part is applying it here. Yeah, nice. And I put a little here. Little to contour too. Next step is going to be highlighter. This is the usual highlighter that I use. This is in the color, oh okay, redo that. So this is in the color Blossom Glow, and it's by Wet n Wild, and it's part of their Megaglo highlighter powder series. It's my favorite highlighter ever, to be honest. It's a little pinky, but I think that looks really good with my blush. Put some here. I always start like this spot on my nose. And I just check it up. Nose. So I put more here, and then I just go up, and then I put more here. I feel like it looks good. Put some eyebrow bones. Here, a little more here. I feel like that makes my makeup look so much more glowy. You could put some on your cheeks if you want, but I don't, because my cheeks get oily, and so I let that just do its own thing. I put on I put on this e.l.f. makeup setting spray, and it's my favorite. I bought the what was the other one? The Urban Decay one. I don't like it as much. I like this one. It's cheaper. It works for me. So if you're looking for one, I recommend this. But I just put this, I cover my lashes, and that's pretty much it. One last thing, my lips. So I bought this lip liner recently. It's the Maybelline New York Color Sensational Shaping Lip Liner, and it's in the color Nude Whisper, which is 105. And I'm gonna try overlining my lip a little bit. Okay, it's a little too light. Oopsie. Oh well. Oh, I forgot to do something. I put contour under here. Under my lip. Under my nose. Add a shadow to make my lips look plumper and like make my nose look a little more out. And overlining is great in a way, because I was never good at lip lining. Anyways, it always went out of the line when I didn't want it to. Like I was trying to get it on the line. It was great. Okay, so there's that. So I overlined my lips. Looks good. Even though it's a lighter than my lip color, I think it still looks pretty. And then I could go out like that, but I'm gonna go with this. A little lip balm again. The waxy oiliness of the lip balm really makes this matte liquid lipstick like glide on way more smoothly. So put a little there. Oh, my mom's calling me. Hello? Hi. Hi again. So basically, yeah, all I did was put the lip liner to overlay my lips, put this in the center of my lips, put this on the rest of my lips, and I feel like it gives a really nice result. That's what my lips look like. Yeah, I like this makeup a lot. This is my summer sun-kissed everyday look that I do. I know it took much longer filming this, but I did my makeup yesterday and I think it took me probably like 15 minutes, which is really short for my makeup. But yeah, I hope that you guys like my makeup, because I really like my makeup too. But yeah, oh, look at my shirt. I got this shirt. So this is my outfit today. I have some rings. This is from brand Melville, and this is from TJ Maxx. And these earrings are from TJ Maxx. And this clip is from Daiso. But yeah, thank you for watching my makeup tutorial. I hope that you like it. See you next time, hopefully. And I'll talk to you later. See you.